Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Elevating Your Life. And we are going to be elevated today. I have been so excited waiting for this interview. We have with us today Jules Standish. She is the Colour Counsellor, a professional color consultant, author, stylist, and presenter. She is passionate about getting people into their true colors. She puts forward a new approach to looking younger, healthier, and happier through color and style analysis, achieving powerful and transformational results. Her new book, A Colour Dose of Optimism, is absolutely fantastic. I just loved it. It leads you to discover a more vibrant and exciting way of exploring the world and looking after yourself in your home, and to get through whatever life throws at you. She is considered one of the UK's leading color experts, head of color at the London College of Style, and author of How Not to Wear Black and the Essential Guide to Mindful Dressing. She has appeared on TV and radio, often featured as the go-to celebrity color expert in the press on color psychology and analysis for celebrities, royalty, and politicians. You are so awesome, Jules. I am so honored to have you with us today.
Well, I'm honored to be with you. Listening to all that, I feel very humbled, but thank you for reading all of that out.
Your book was just fascinating. I just absolutely loved it. And oh my gosh, and I shared before we started, I was reading it while on a girlfriend trip with a girlfriend, and I'd say, oh, and I'd read her some, and then she'd, so we were back and forth with the book all week, both loving it. It is just fantastic what you shared.
Oh, well, thank you for that. I feel very passionately about colour, and I wrote it during lockdown over here in the UK. And I was being asked by the media to write about how we could all try and help comfort ourselves during such a very anxious time that we've never really experienced before. And I know that certainly myself and a lot of other people felt very out of control, and it made us realize, I guess, how quickly we could become out of control, and maybe, how much we didn't control in our lives. And I got to thinking, actually, that we can really help ourselves feel better emotionally and physically by choosing those colors that we really resonate with energetically, that really suit us genetically, and that psychologically can boost our mood. So it was really about thinking, gosh, I think I can really help people understand how to grasp that bit of happiness for themselves through color. And it's not expensive. It doesn't cost a lot. You don't have to go out and completely change your wardrobes or your interiors. Maybe even just discovering one new color that actually makes you smile. That's quite powerful. So I thought if I could just do that for somebody, then I've done a good job. And so that's what really drove me to write the book.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And it's actually really fun to say, okay, what color do I want to be today?
I think it's like you have the choice. And I think once you realize that color, most of the time, we are not aware of how powerful color is in our world. Maybe subconsciously we go about gardening or choosing clothes or whatever it is that we're affected by color. And yes, you're right. It's that, gosh, what do I need today? And I suppose it's making it conscious so that we can use the power beneficially for whatever it is we're doing. Maybe we might be communicating with lots of people. I mean, I can see that you're wearing beautiful blue this evening. That is an incredible color on you. But blue is also the color of communication. It's the throat chakra. It is also the color that is the world's favorite color, well, certainly when it comes to fashion. And maybe that's because so much of the planet is surrounded in blue. The blue sky is something that we can all trust and rely upon to come back. When we're having a cloudy day, the blue sky comes back. So maybe it is to do with that. But it's also how our eyes visually see color. So as a wavelength of light, blue is a short wavelength of light. So it's restful, it's calming on our eyes. So when we're feeling anxious or stressed, blue is a very good color to wear, to surround yourself in, to really help you feel more in control and more balanced, along with green. So being out in nature, again, it was another, a very COVID thing. Go outside if you can and just be in your green space. Green, it is that color that's midway on the color spectrum, and it is about balance and harmony, and that bringing nature in to your own world and really benefiting from that balancing, that really beautiful growth that we feel with greens. It is here in the UK, we've got all these incredible greens coming out, from spring going into summer. It is about new beginnings and growth and being able to harness that for ourselves. So using color in that way, putting the science of color with your genetics, which is your inherited skin tone and your own personal coloring, along with your personality, and then adding those psychological bits in so that you get to choose what it is and how much color and which color it is that you choose every day.
I love it. I love it. And it was so fun in your book, how you describe the different colors. And I was really fascinated by the 4 seasons that you talked about. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I have to thank you guys over in the States for, educating all of us over here, because it was those incredible American ladies, in the 1970s and 80s who brought color analysis to the world. And, it started off as the 4 seasons. People have branched out in lots of different ways now with color analysis. I teach the 4 seasons at the London College of Style you mentioned to my students. I think certainly for me, I find that it's the easiest way to relate to colors in the seasons that we have in the Western world and how the colors change. There are other forms of color analysis out there and people do it differently. So that's just a matter of preference. What I love about the 4 seasons is that you can actually, and it states in the book, it gives you a DIY system of being able to diagnose and analyze for yourself as much as possible what your seasons are, and whether you fall into the warm category, which is the yellow golden based skin tones, which then break into 2, the very bright spring or the more muted rich autumns, or whether you fall into the cooler categories of soft and delicate summer or very vibrant dynamic winter, and that's the blue based skin tones. So once you've kind of ascertained where you are on that genetic scale, and this is for all ethnicities or ages, there are no boundaries to color, and then you can put your personality together, because I think it's so important to recognize we are all unique. So whilst you and I might fall into a similar category, we're very different as individuals. And I think that personality is something that we can all really relate to, being authentically attracted to certain colors in our palette and the amount we wear them. So we might be a very outgoing, bouncy, great communicative spring, and feel on certain days that we're full of energy and we go out there in a bright red trouser suit and everybody kind of notices and we have that standout style. But other days we might not feel like we want to make that kind of statement. We project our own stories when we wear color. So maybe on another day that spring personality might not be feeling so out there and just want to wear red in maybe a top under a more neutral jacket. So that's another way, but it's about wearing your best shades. Can everybody wear red? Yes, but it's a shade of red. And so it's that I think is really important in the book, to understand how your shades work for you and then how much you want to wear on a given day. And that's very much down to your personality and your mood, of course.
Oh, that is so fascinating. Would you say that because we are, our unique selves, and let's say you don't really know anything about color analysis, like you're so educated, that we may, for just out of our moods and ourselves, pick our colors that make us feel good and really not even realize we're doing it?
I think we do it subconsciously. I've seen so many the years, yes, who really, they kind of know, but it's having the confidence for someone to say, yes, that is your wow color. And we might suit lots of different colors, but it's finding that one that when you put it on, you instantly smile. Now, smiling, whether forced or real, can release happy hormones, you know. So actually, when you look in the mirror and you see yourself looking fabulous and your skin glows and you look healthy and your eyes sparkle, you know, that's a good reason to smile, isn't it? That actually you, wow, I look healthy, I look well. Someone might compliment you and say, gosh, you look well today. That's probably because you're wearing one of your best colors. And I think also that, you know, we go through a lot of things in life. That's just who we are as human beings. You know, things happen to us, emotional traumas happen, situations happen. And I think we can perhaps start out in maybe the right colors and end up in colors that don't suit us because we are going through emotional hardships that mean we need to protect ourselves. I find a lot of people, particularly women, end up wearing a lot of dark colors, black, when they've been through emotional stuff. And, you know, it's really necessary from a healing point of view to protect oneself, to actually go into that hibernation time, maybe when you don't want to have to talk about things or go out and appear in the world. You know, you need that time and space to recover. But I always feel that when people are ready to move on, that color then becomes a really important part of their healing process. And I'm sure as a healer, you understand how important colors in our aura are, and you know, the chakra colors and how they work. You know, color is a very important part of the visible spectrum and how color affects us through our eyes, enabling us to feel more energized and stimulated by the hotter colors, the reds, oranges, and the yellows. And then on the calmer, the blues, the greens, the purples, and the pinks to an extent too. That is how we can help to feel in a more calmer zone. So it is about using color mindfully. Of course, we can have favorite colors, and that can be very emotionally based. So maybe you, Paula, had a color that you related to growing up. Maybe you felt very happy in a, let's say, a bedroom that you went on holiday and you had a really happy time. So subconsciously you relate that happy period to a color, and maybe you're drawn to it in your interiors or in your wardrobe because it made you feel happy. Equally, there might be a color that you had a bad time in. I get that a lot with green. School uniforms, people didn't like school, and they go, not wearing green. There are hundreds of shades of green. So it's like, do not miss out on that whole beautiful green spectrum of balance and harmony and friendliness. And, you know, choose a shade that actually you could try and maybe experiment with in a small way. So that's how you can put color into your world. You know, you don't want to miss out on a whole spectrum of color.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that. And I love in the book you mentioned, you discuss workwear, accessories, jewelry. Tell us a little bit about that.
I think it's really important once you've discovered what I would call your color prescription. So once you've done your own diagnosis for those colors that you really feel resonate with you, your genetic coloring, your personality, you put the psychology there, which you can dip into at any time when you need a certain color, like red to boost your energy up if you're feeling very tired. Or maybe you might choose a shade of pink if you're feeling very playful and, you know, wanting to share some love. It's a very romantic color. So maybe you're going on a first date and you want to consider that. So it's looking at event wear. And, you know, going to work, things have changed in our world. You know, we now do things so much on Zoom, virtually. So we still have to look good. You know, it's not an excuse to go to work and not actually make yourself feel good by the colors that you're wearing. Because what we wear also projects onto other people. I know if I'm wanting to go out and meet people and make people smile, I will wear my bright yellow coat. You know, if I walk down the street in that coat, people are going to smile at me. They're going to come up to me and say, you've made it. It happens so often. So it depends what I'm going to do, what work I'm going to do, as to how I might mindfully choose certain colors during that work presentation or who I'm going to work with. And I do actually go into the book about different professions and how colors really work differently. So in a finance company, in a corporate world, obviously, the darker colors are probably going to be predominant. So it's where black really comes into its own, wearing black because it is that color of authority, of discipline. And then maybe you can think about your own palette, how you could mix black with one of your better shades and colors if it doesn't belong to your palette. So I think professions are really key to thinking about how you can wear color at work to be really appropriate, but also to express your personality. And some people have to wear uniforms, Paula, don't they? So you know, maybe you can think about socks or underwear, or getting that color hit somewhere. And jewelry is very important too. Gold jewelry really suits the warmer skin tones, with silver suiting the cooler skin tones. And makeup, for those of us who choose to wear makeup, again, getting those colors right on the skin once you know what colors to wear up against your face in fashion. Really great to get that whole harmony together, to know that you're looking your best. I can't promise to make everyone look like film stars and supermodels, but you know what? I really can hope to help everybody look and feel their best. That's my thing.
Yes, it is just so fascinating and so fun. And what you shared about the different colors, it gave me an idea I was thinking about when I was reading the book. I kind of want to have a little fun week or something with myself. I'm going to wear a different color every day and then write down that night kind of what a feeling how I felt wearing that color. Would you recommend doing that?
I love the idea of that.
Oh, thank you.
I think that's amazing. And I think, to pick a color in your palette that really works for you, and when you wear it, to see how you feel about it. And then, take it one step further, which I talk about in the book, is how to color combine for balance and bringing in all the different energies and feelings and mood boosting effects. This dopamine dressing is a big deal over here. I don't know if you've got it in the States, but dopamine dressing in fashion has become a massive thing since COVID, actually. How people can wear colors and clothing to make themselves feel happy. And, I think that's really interesting because, your favorite color, Paula, might not be my favorite color, Jules, so I think it's really interesting to see how each color makes you feel, how it affects your mood. Do other people react to you? And, I talked about yellow. Yellow is a really interesting color because, black is a color that a lot of people love to wear. And yellow is that color that actually people tend to be quite scared of. It's got a lot better over the years. I mean, I've been doing this now for about 20 years. And over the last few years, it only takes a celebrity or a member of the royal family to wear a yellow outfit and suddenly everybody's off to get it, which is fantastic. But, yellow is the color of the solar plexus. It's the color of mental creativity. It's a really stimulating color. So it's fantastic to wear yellow because visually, it is the most outstanding color that we see, which is why we see it used on, people who are on bicycles on the road wear that neon yellow. We see people working on our railways, neon yellow, because they get instantly noticed. And the thing about yellow being so stimulating is it's wonderful to work in a study, a child's playroom, great to stimulate mental activity. But at night in a bedroom, it could easily stop you from sleeping well because of the stimulation of the color. So perhaps one could choose to wear yellow with blue and get that wonderful balance of stimulating and calming together. So, it's about finding a balance for you every day. And maybe it is about wearing different colors together or, in a pattern or a print. They're really popular and fashionable now. And a great way to wear the rainbow all in one go and get all those balancing, amazing hits together. So I think that's when color becomes very authentically you and very personal to every individual. So you find your wow colors, your best colors, and then you wear them in a way that really expresses who you are every day. So I would love to see how Paula feels every day in a different color. So I'm going to be watching that and waiting for you to tell me how you feel.
Thank you. I mean, reading your book really opened a fascination for me. It is really exciting stuff. I love it. Well, Jules, what triggered you years ago to get into this study and learn more? What was your little prompter in becoming the expert on color that you are?
You know, I actually set out to train to be a stylist. That's the truth. I'd always loved fashion and color and everything about it. And I spent so much time dressing all my friends, and they eventually said, go and train and get a profession. And I of course, the universe led me to a wonderful training where they said I had to do color first. And so I very begrudgingly sort of went, okay, let's just hurry through this. I'll get to the styling bit. And I had to do 20 case studies. And I remember on probably case study number 5, sitting in front of the mirror with this lady. I didn't know what I was doing. She didn't know what to expect. But every time the right color went on, she smiled and her whole energy lit up. You could literally see her face. It was like a light bulb had been switched on above her head. And actually, do you know what? My students often say that when they discover it and really get it. They say, Jules, it's like a light bulb. And I've heard it so many times, and it's exactly how I felt. So I know it happens. And I literally saw the light bulb go on, and I saw her smile every time. And she knew exactly which colors suited her at the same time as me. And I just thought, this is so powerful that I literally fell in love with it. So, you know, when I got to the styling bit, I whizzed through that bit and thought, right, I'm going to be a stylist on top of being a color consultant. Luckily for me, doing both has been brilliant, because I've been able to go and do, you know, the whole job of helping someone look great with their style and their colors. But when I wrote How Not to Wear Black, you know, that really set me aside as a color expert. And so I just really focused on color. And I train stylists in color. So that allows me to really understand what they're doing and to help them put color into their styling work. So it's always been something I'm very proud of being both, but I do really champion color as my thing. It's kind of my thing and my passion. And the more I've done it, the more I've seen the transformational changes in people. And that's just drives me on to share it more and more, because I just think, you know, we can choose so much of colors in our world around us to suit ourselves, and just even tapping into those benefits of how color can be so kind to us. And, you know, I think kindness is a big word now. We need to be kind to ourselves, this self-care, self-love, you know, yeah. And that's where I kind of champion yellow, because it is the color of the solar plexus, and it's really owning that self-love for ourselves and building that rainbow around us in the way that we would like to feel color and be seen in color.
Isn't it just so fantastic that we can, you know, do for ourselves and help ourselves feel better and feel loved by the colors we wear, the colors we surround ourselves with. That really is amazing and a beautiful thing for you to share. Oh, I can imagine what you've experienced over the years sharing this information.
Well, it's been a joy, actually. When you know, I can see someone really discovering their true colors, it is a real joy, because, you know, I think so much about confidence, the way we lack self-confidence and self-belief in us as human beings. It's such an important stepping into our own power. And I think that if I can help people, you know, that color therapy that I can help share, if someone can get just a little bit of that, you know, some people I can help, you know, some people grasp it a lot, some people grasp it a little, but that's what everybody's ready for at their own pace. And so I would never try and make somebody be something they're not. It's not about huge change. It's about accepting that color can have the power to change, but maybe in a really small way. Maybe that's all that somebody actually needs or is looking for. And maybe it's not even about change. It's just about feeling better. And so I think, yes, it is a very powerful medium, and it is around us all, and it is there for the taking. And I think that's so fabulous about it.
Please share with the audience your website or any information where they can get a copy of this great book, the Colourful Dose of Optimism. I just love that title. Share with everyone where they can get that.
Well, it's available worldwide at the moment. It's on Amazon.com. It's on Amazon.co.uk. It's at Barnes and Noble. It's at all, you know, major newsagents, certainly over in the UK here. My website, www.colourconsultancy.co.uk, has a link to the book, which takes you to Amazon. When you buy the book, Paula, there are no images in the book. I wanted the book to be a guide, and I really appreciate that over the years, it's really difficult to take a book to a shop with your colours in it. So I really got that with this book. I thought what I need to do is write the book. It needs to be a self-help guide to get to your best colours.
Yes.
About your wardrobe, how to detox, workwear, casual wear, home. And then you go back to the beginning of the book. There is a little box at the beginning called Your Colour Prescription Images. Now, there is a little website link there that takes you to a mini website that belongs to the images of the book. So you get to see, let's say, your spring images, an example of each different colorway that belongs to spring, and the psychological doses that you might like to prescribe for that day. If you go to the bottom of that page, there is an opportunity to download a color app with over 100 different shades of your color season that you pay a one-off fee of $25 US, and it goes onto your phone, stays there forever. So you can go shopping anywhere in the world at any time, online or in person, which I talk about in the book, with your color app. So, you know, I've tried to give everybody what they need now in the world that we're in, which is we're on our phones. You know, you want to read the book and you don't want to take the book shopping. You want to take your phone anywhere and everywhere. So if you're in a shop and suddenly you need to say, is that my right shade, or should I go for that one? You can look it straight up on your app, and you can do that with your interiors if you want to bring your personality in. So I feel really excited that anyone in the world can access this app. You have to buy the book to get the website, but A Colourful Dose of Optimism is global, it is worldwide, and
I love it.
To be able to do that for everybody. So
brilliant idea.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good idea. I'm really pleased with that. I think it's a great way to share it.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to download it. Jules, we have about 2 minutes left in the show. What last words do you want to share with everybody? This has been so great.
Oh, do you know what? Thank you so much for having me. Do you know what I'd really like to say is that everyone in the world, no matter what age, gender, ethnicity, has the opportunity to really feel happier in colour and to really grasp that it's all around us in the world. It's a universal love to tap into. And I really hope that everybody now in the world that we're in can come together and use colour as a way to love ourselves and love others and to share that love too. I think it's a powerful message, and I hope that that's what the book gives people when they buy it.
Oh, thank you, Jules. Thank you. This has been so great. I'm so grateful. Love.
Well, thank you, Paula. It's been wonderful to talk to you and to all your listeners. Thank you. It's been a pleasure, and I wish everyone a very colourful evening and rest of the week.
Thank you. Thank you. And everybody out there, love, hugs, and blessings. Thank you for joining us. Oh, so grateful. Oh, have a great evening, Jules. Everybody just have a great day, great evening. And thank you for joining us.